over a period of 5 years, and this is the English Electric Lightning, flown by Dave Johnson with 2 gas turbines. Massive drag, all of the power on those 2 big gas turbines now, undercarriage retracted, gently into the air, building up airspeed. This is the English Electric Lightning. English Electric, the company that designed washing machines, also designed and built one of the fastest interceptor fighters the world knew and still holds that record. Burned up huge amounts of fuel, but was the ultimate interceptor. Ted designed this model from scratch, built it from scratch. All of the undercarriage is bespoke engineering. Twin gas turbines, covering materials is unique. And this really is aviation history, modelling history, all brought to you today up here in Strathaven or Straven. That unique wing platform, those highly swept back wings with the ailerons out on the tip. Lovely farmer path. This is an amazing model, bringing together the many skills of one modeller, Ted Allison, to build it, and another from the flyer, Dave Johnson. Now, I don't know whether Keith wants to talk about this for a couple of minutes, because Ted's a friend, so I'll put him on the microphone. He knows a lot more than I do.
Right, okay, this is a wonderful scratch-built model. As you well know, the model is you don't get kits for this sort of aeroplane. Ted's been building scratch models for the last 30 years of very, very high standard, and I think we all agree that this, in terms not only of scratch built model as art, is the pinnacle. I think Dave doesn't overdo, as I'm sure you'll agree, the eulogies in relation to the aeroplane. Superbly well designed. He has maintained the full-size supersonic wing profile, so it's all as per scale, and I think there were days when most of us who saw this aeroplane fly full size, and sadly no longer, never thought we would see this sort of thing, particularly in large scale. And that's a major achievement, because everything goes up with the weight of the aircraft. The drag goes up. The lightning of an aeroplane, which essentially uses its power to perform the manoeuvres that we know were part of our defence during the 60s and 70s, during the Cold War, but also it has very high induced drag, which is used during the display. So what we're talking about here, when Dave starts pulling the aeroplane, the drag really comes on. You need immense power, and you remember the reheated ailerons, if you saw and heard this wonderful airplane describe them up. Different. In the flight envelope, whenever you start pulling elevator, huge amounts of induced drag of this low aspect ratio swept wing come into play. And the display pilot, the great display pilots like Rolly Beaumont, who was the test pilot, used to use this to minimize the display pilot's the display footprint. Even so, it's using now, for those of you who are not aware, we're probably using up to 3/4 of a mile of airspace from one end of the circuit to the other. And of course it's in the hands of our chairman, who probably has more experience of all sorts of jet model aircraft and scale aircraft of this type and he flies it absolutely superbly. But I do want you to pay particular attention when it comes to the landing phase. We are enjoying a flight which will only last about 7 or 8 minutes. The fuel is being burned up on these two JetCat 120s, which have been turned up by JetCat to even higher RPM to produce around about 30 pound of thrust each. The model weighs, I think it's around about 90 to 100 pounds. So it's consuming jet fuel like no business at all. So it has a limited flight time. See the undercarriage coming down, all fully scale. See it lock into place. Okay, and starboard lock, that's always a bit of a shaky moment. Now Dave has got full power. The aeroplane's drag is colossal in this phase. Hear it, you can hear the engines, the turbine, absolutely full power. And I wonder if he's lost an engine. I fear he's lost an engine, and this is always the worry, and this will take all his skill now. It will take all his skill. Oh my God.